Hi everybody, my name's Ercy and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about books that I received over the holidays. So I know it's a little late, we're already towards the end of January, probably when this video goes up it'll be February already, but I didn't want to put all of these along with the other book haul that I had, because then it would just be way too much. I decided to make a separate video to talk about these books. So here it is. So my lovely cousin, Adi, got me 3 books for Christmas. So she loves to give gifts to people. And so when she asked me what I would want for Christmas, I was like, oh, you can get me a book or something. Here's a couple that I like. And she got me like 3 of them. I only sent her the list so she can send 1. But she sent me 3. So that was really nice of her. Thank you. And so the first one that she got me was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And so this is supposed to be inspired by Asian fantasy and war and Asian history. It's supposed to be about this girl named Rin. She was affected by the war, and so she decides to try to get into this academy, I believe of assassins or just soldiers. She gets into the school without cheating and she passes, and she's able to train in order to prepare herself for this war. I believe that the magical powers that they're able to get is through consumption of some kind of like fruit or plant or herb or something. I don't know. They consume it and they're able to harness the powers of the gods. So I think that's pretty cool. You're like high and you're able to get powers and stuff. So I think that's pretty interesting. So we'll see how it goes. So I really wanted this because it's sort of like a realistic / fantastical version of what war is really like. You usually have these wars that are sort of romanticized because of the ideals behind them or the motivations behind the wars, but you don't really see a lot of examples where you're getting really nitty-gritty into the ugly side and the ugliness of it all. So I think this is one book where you're able to see that. And so I haven't read it yet. I don't know that much about it, but I was really excited to get this, and thank you, Adi. I love it. The next book that my cousin got me was Cursed, and it's illustrated by Frank Miller and written by Thomas Wheeler. And so this book is supposed to be a sort of King Arthur retelling, but with a girl. Her family is murdered and slaughtered and all that kind of stuff, and she winds up wielding the sword, or given the ability to wield the sword that will help save her people and stuff. So another one where I don't know much about it, but this is really cool because it has illustrations along with it. There's some illustrations in these books. So this one's really beautiful. And I just love this cover. It's so cool. Like, she just looks like she's ready to fight. And the last book that she got me was the first book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, Game of Thrones, but this is the illustrated edition. Now I have another edition, and it's the mass market paperback, and that's how I read it. And I've been meaning to update my editions because they're getting really raggedy, because I've been rereading them and stuff. And I saw this and I was absolutely in love, and she got it for me and I'm obsessed. And it's so beautiful. This is just a beautiful book. So she was able to get this for me. And if you guys don't know, this is the first book in the series. We just start getting to know our characters from the series. So we have Jon, Bran, Cersei, Daenerys, Ned Stark. But yeah, this book is just so beautiful. I really love this series. And this is what I really love about George R.R. Martin's writing, is that he doesn't dwell too much on getting into the mind or understanding things. He just tells you what happens, and he's not afraid to kill off people. And it's another one where you got this gritty, dark take on things that would actually happen despite the dragons and the very little magic that he has in there. So even though it's a fantasy, he even says that there's not that much magic in this. There's a little bit, but it's not. And it just sort of shows us this dark reality of this world where you have people battling for the right to sit on a throne, and what that actually means, and what it means to be a good person, a moral person. And most of the characters in this book are really complicated, and you don't know if they're good or if they're bad or they're in between. They all have good motivations. They all have things that make you dislike them. and love them at the same time. And that's why I really love this series. Like, George R. Martin was not afraid to go there with this. But I'm really glad that I was able to get this as a gift, because this is just a beautiful addition. So thank you, Addie. I love it. Now, I mentioned this little guy a couple times already. I have already read this, and this is the second volume of My Hero Academia, and this is my husband got this for me. So it follows Izuku Midoriya. He's a normal kid who's able to acquire powers from his idol, All Might, and he's learning how to become a hero in this world where the majority of the people have powers and they just don't know what to do with it. He gets accepted into this hero academy where he's learning, and he's asked to do assignments that test his abilities and help him grow and think of strategies while he's learning to harness his abilities. So this is a really fun series. It's funny, it's cute, and it really gets you thinking, like, what would you do if you had powers? What would society look like? What kind of institutions would be in place if people had powers, or they were born with these quirks, as they call it in this book? And I think that's really interesting. So even though it's a manga series and it's supposed to be just fun, it really does talk about a lot of stuff about as far as determination, wanting to be the best, what it means to have a rival, what society looks like. I'm really enjoying this series. I already read this one, so now the third one's on my wish list now, and I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm not gonna try to get them all at once because that's just too much. I'm gonna continue on, and this is a really fun series and I really like it. So switching gears a little bit, I want to talk about a book that I actually gifted to my husband. And this is the first volume of Saga, and it follows these two aliens here. They're from different planets that are at war with each other, and they're in love, and they have this relationship. So interspecies relationship, and they have a baby. It sort of follows their journey as they're running away because they're outlaws because of their relationship. So I just got the first one for him because I didn't want to get the big compendium in case he didn't like it. So this is sort of like a taste test here. This has gotten a lot of really good reviews on BookTube. But something that I did not know, it's really graphic. So there's a lot of alien sex and exploding heads and stuff. So I don't know what to make of it, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know. This has gotten a lot of really good reviews, so we'll see what happens with this. I'll tell you what my husband thinks of it once he does read it, and I'll probably read it as well, just to kind of get my own opinion on it. So we'll see how it goes, because I don't know much about it. I just know that it has a lot of really good reviews, so we'll see. This is one that I gifted to myself. This is Stephen King's The Institute, and this follows this boy whose family was murdered by these people from this institution in order to take him to that place to study him and test on him because he has sort of telekinetic powers. I believe that this is supposed to be Stephen King's take on like what's happening with the undocumented children crossing the border with their parents and how they're detained in these detention centers. Despite their parents pleading for them to stay together, and despite the public wanting them to stay together. It sounds really interesting, and I was really excited to get it for myself. When I do read it, I'll let you guys know what I think. The last two books that I got over the holidays are books 2 and 3 of the Harry Potter series, the illustrated editions by Jim Kay. So here's the second one, The Chamber of Secrets. This cover is so cute. I think this is like my favorite cover out of all of them so far. It's just this from the fun scene of Ron and Harry stealing his dad's car in order to travel to Hogwarts because they missed the train. And then the third one, these are really heavy. It's The Prisoner of Azkaban, and then we have the bus that Harry has to ride through London. So these are both gifted to me by my good friends Ozzy and Lisa. So I made a mistake on my first video where I talked about the first one and the fourth one that I got. I didn't buy the first one off of Amazon. My husband reminded me after I posted my video that I actually got that first one at Comic-Con as well, from the Midtown Comic stand. So that's where it was that I got it, because I couldn't remember exactly, so I just kind of guessed it was Amazon. So now I have books 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the illustrated editions, and we'll see how long it takes for the 5th one to get published. that concludes my holiday book haul. So I got a lot of books over the holidays, and I'm so thankful to everyone that got them for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys consider subscribing to my channel and following me along on Goodreads as well. I'll leave my account link down below. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!